on the sun-baked road, twisting and turning down the story, or a vision I describe before me, easily, as though I was there, it, living and breathing, galloping out of my sight, fading into another dream. Sometimes when I'm on the go, I just have to type them up, when I don't have paper or something. So. Transcendent, ascended from the sky, flying higher and higher, watching, staring, eyes wide opening, a bird freely flying, world-defying, soaring, gliding, effortlessly, air streaming dreamily, easily, naturally in harmony, gracefully intended to spread its wings, so gifted, a gift to see it, I see it. Almost 3 minutes, great. I've shared most of them. Yes. I have another one. So some of these I've shared last year here at OP grounds, or safety grounds. So why not share it again? Wordless, interpret this, a nothingness, blank paper folded, held, a road ahead, a paved clear way, words that try to say or try to speak about the beauty of a new day. Let's take this, celebrate on this, not argue and debate this. Maybe we all could learn and grow from this. Truly righteous, love the love in this, calmer than the sea. As I look into me, I find the beauty of my mind creatively, articulatively, enhancing the quality of life's loving pleasure. Happiness does not need to be measured in present living leisure. It's a breeze, sir, passing quickly, freely ending, arriving at the destination. Thank you. That is it.
All right. Thank you. Q&A. Nicely done. That brings us to me. I'm kidding. All right. I do have to stand up and address this microphone. Hi, microphone.
All right. So this evening's feature, I'm going to go on for a tiny moment because she wanted to have a few minutes to get ready. So I will do that. Patrice Hahn. I first saw her in, what was the name of the book? Florey's Bookstore in Pacifica. No, wait a minute. I saw you here before that. San Francisco Peace and Hope was featuring here 3 years ago, right? Yeah, 3 years ago. And so she shows up and she is just like amazing and wonderful and talented and bright. But I didn't have the foresight to think, oh, I should put this person on as a feature. So then years go by and I get invited to do a feature down in Pacifica with Sherry Rose Walker, and it's a Florey's Bookstore in Pacifica, and they do it once a month. Is that correct? Correct. And it's a very nice venue, very sweet. And then she's there, and I think, now's my chance. That's my chance. I will invite her, and we got exchanged emails and stuff like that. See, my time is up.
Right, I'm still sifting and sorting.
It's okay, don't worry. I'm going to be blathering for a few minutes. I can even sing a little bit and tell a rude joke.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So anyway, to make that long story short, we reconnected, and I said, you have to come up and do that. She said, oh boy, it's going to be a lot of fun. So she's going to be our feature. The feature usually goes for about 20 minutes, but she has a little extra there since we're, friendly as it were. And singer, songwriter, vocalist, and we were talking here, and I found out that she actually is one of the in my idea, it's a privilege to be an artist and then make your living, such as she might say, such as might be called, working her art. And she goes to hospitals and plays for people or groups or areas where the patients need to be like, settle down and center and calm and stuff like that. So I thought, what a cool job. What a really cool job. And she says she loves it. Because I'm thinking, you get to do your art, they pay you, and hello. I think that's really wonderful. My sister is in a similar circumstance, and she's very glad about that. So, in a sense, it's really a lot of fun. And so you will be enjoying her in just a moment as soon as she said her little bit of complex here. And just to give you a little heads up, after the feature we take a 10-minute break briefly, and after the feature we have Karen Melander-Magoon, Garrett Murphy, and then Alan Harris as the closer, clincher, pile driver. He doesn't like being called a pile driver, do you? You don't like that? Pile driver.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Huh?
I don't know what that is.
Pile driver?
Yeah.
Oh, it's those machines that drive like piles, like telephone pole like things into the ground to like.
No, I don't like that.
Oh, you don't like that? I thought you said you didn't know what it was. You know what it was, but you don't
Well,
like
I
it.
don't know what it is. Now that I do, I will.
Okay,
Please
all
don't
right.
call me that again.
Oh, I'll never do that again. Alan,
Thanks.
I apologize
That's
completely.
all right, Dave. Thanks.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it.
Are you ready for me to stop talking? Do you want this in some place?
Well, I want you to put it out of the way for a second.
Okay.
Please, thank you so very much. I don't have to move here.
You there.
When you put this
I
here,
can put this here for a second, so it's ready to move should
that
you
is
want to
just
move it.
so brilliant. Okay.
Yes, well, as they say in France, Yahoo!
The Duke's Bonnet Downs and we pay attention on. Okay. That's perfect.
Okay, so, wollen Sie das Mikrofon haben?
Oh, I'm not sure. So I'm wondering what's going to happen is if you just use your ears.
I think we'll hear.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's be radical.
Sure. Okay.
Because otherwise I need to do things like
Okay.
lean into the microphone. And
Oh,
that's just
well, you
so
know.
not going to go.
But I believe you have vocal powers beyond the ken of men.
How about vocal power? Okay.
Now, do you have enough things? Everything good?
I do, it's brilliant.
All right.
So.
Well, you have to ask so you can see all that.
Classes, God's mercy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm deeply honored.
Well, I'm so glad to have you. That first time was amazing, and then the second time was amazing, and so I'm set for amazingness. All right.
Relax, right?
No
Nothing
pressure,
about to.
no pressure.
at all. So I'm going to ask you to indulge me in two ways. The first is that we're doing this without sound reinforcement. So. Okay. And the second is I'm weaving together music and poems. And I'm going to ask you to just listen to it as if it's one ginormous piece. Okay?
Don't want to hold our applause.
I want you to suggest that you're going to applaud. Applaud is perhaps presumptuous.
Well, yes, we will respect your wishes.
Windfalls gathered in aprons and galvanized buckets, carted home in a red wagon and a green wheelbarrow, rubber boots galoshing the grass. Petal bubbles, applesauce perfumes the air. There's a poem. Strand of memory sweet as cinnamon heart, red as September sugar maples, red as the wool sweater and matching socks I wore to kindergarten, keeping rocks all the asphalt way that first day. strand of memory clambers the stairs to the wooden rocking chair where I sit gnawing my number 2 pencil. Yellow scratch pad in lap, cat on lap. There's a poem here. Bits, but nothing seems to be whole, and I don't really believe that poems should be sweated out, boiled to mush. My mother's hands hold the paring knife. Ribbons of red peel dangle and drop. The ball of red worsted dances in the wicker knitting basket. Tiny ringlets of cedar and graphite shavings curl in the red plastic pillbox of my new pencil sharpener. There's a poem here. Perfume in the air. Bleary-eyed, dunking raisin toast smeared with co-op blackberry jam in a blue and white bowl of milky coffee. I'm 23, walking into a thorny bramble up in the highlands near Muriel's place. One of the kids is on my shoulders. Maybe Steffi is still that small. And beside me, Jay's riding Jared. We're trying to protect our faces, while the kids lean forward to pluck the fattest, ripest blackberries and drop them into plastic sand pails balanced on our heads. I'm wearing gauntlets and Stephen's biker jacket. And Jared's got on his own jean jacket and worn green leather gardening gloves, the color of his eyes. I loved his eyes. The kids are squealing and bouncing, and we're all getting scratched bloody, and Maggie's shrieking warnings and directions, and it's too hot, and we're all laughing and shouting, and blackberries plop in the baskets while the occasional car whizzes by. Later we'll swim in the sound, and later still there'll be facefuls of pie and ice cream. That's after we've covered the countertops with half pints of sweet, sweet jam. We were always side by side then, walking into brambles. God, we laughed a lot, with the black sweetness staining our lips and teeth and tongues as we licked the juice from each other's chins. Driving north always, pulled by home. I track this road, curve round tidal flats, tattooed silver by strands of low tide. In the eelgrass, tracery of volcanic flow, rocky headland blushing from the sun's kiss. When suddenly I am in that known, bone-deep landscape. 10,000 firs watched us count 1,000 fractured crabs, spent sand dollars, watched us climb the slope of Bracken Fern, and there behind, boggy with sundews, find a corduroy road, sliding unseen into oblivion. 100,000 times we took my hand before the clear cut. And then I'm driving north again. solitary kingfisher, gold alderleaf coins flung into the evergreen forest. In the ditch, wispy grey beards of fireweed. Ghosting a battered blue Chevy truck, I wind through the mist and fog beside the Moselle River, a green and grey landscape punctuated by occasional scarlet and gold hankies of flowering vine maples, humming just louder than the wheels of the road. I dredge for fragments. Melody cracked as old clamshells, remnant song lines and phrases. In the quicksilver water, buffalo heads and widgeons, teal and stalks, rodeo the ripples, dive for dinner. I retrieve another line, falling notes, sweet as that trickle on the dark face. When overhead, passing wraith-like as a cloud, flies a pair of trumpeter swans. Plump bodies and long necks stretch toward the pointing black bill. Compasses bearing north. Historic downtown McCleary. 5 beige U-store consequence. Real estate holding office trailer. Graveyard. Hospital. VFW hall. The plant. A small house shelters in the skirts of a giant maple tree, aflame with October. The road bends here. There's a tree in the round mountains that dancers worship. Circle under her long limbs, whisper into her smooth gray bark secrets, dreams, and prayers, where the old ladies nod in their felt slippers, while 100 pipers wail in upland meadows. Is a tree hemmed in by fences, the crows torment, veer and swing around its crazed branches, swoop to tear off ruby fruit, swallow them whole, shriek and shrill, scream. There's a tree by the roadside the travelers ignore, miss as they flash by, kiss and high anxiety. I saw it shining in the afternoon, gloom and drizzle, a light amid curtains of hemlock and fir. I saw it shine like a May bride, festooned and usnea, that bright and lacy light. Lift your eyes. Clouds embroider the western hills with feathers of foil. Overhead, a halo of blue. The air shimmers red gold, now silver, green undertones at your throat, purple in the contours of your face. Your arms lift in response, waving like wings, the blackbirds croaking homeward, erratic. The sun is blinking on the horizon. My love. Once, twice, gone. But you stand unconcerned, still, sipping water from the saucer of the backyard bird bath. Oh yeah, I feel you taking me in. Fall of hair, spread of lips, notch of collarbone, heft of breast, curve of waist, hollow of back, eyeing hips for handholds, sizing me up. Sweep of shoulders, length of legs, who's taller, who's heavier, best 2 of 3 throws. I'd almost forgotten how the heat rises, even unbidden rises. You flare your nostrils, shake them rock and roll curls, stomp that big boot of yours made for walking, thrust hip, guitar, voice in my direction, growl of dissatisfaction, can't get none, howl hunger, dare me to take a ride. For an instant. For an instant. I flame like mother, like daughter, like Demeter. Then I remember lying here, picking daisies on the cinder pond. Don't pet me started. Lord knows I've tried for over 10 years to be his Sarah, match and mate. Yet he must have his one God. All that talk about righteousness and angels and the duty of the host, and he offers my daughters, just girls. To that rowdy, horny mob, a delicacy perhaps in his oily voice. Then doom and destruction and, oh, Sodom must fall. Never content till he drags me out into the desert. For the love of all, do you know how cold it can be at night in the desert? All I could think of was my girls. And once I started crying, he was there stopping. Except he stopped moving, and moved, like a pillar. And lots of, I was mulish, made of salt. And all my tears wouldn't change history. Did I want to be remembered that way? What I remembered was the heavy shade of the vine under the back door, and the date tree that was my mother's mother's, and the ceaseless beating of his voice. And I thought, better a cinder in the gardens of Gomorrah than turned my eyes back there, and I started looking. The cats are curled in the dry grass, wrapped in tails like commas, watching. Did I hear a sound? Something rustles. Something. How was I looking when I used to say, all's forgiven, all? Yet the cats dozed on and the birds were still. Something singing. Something. A robin pipes a solitary note in the gray of the morning for the year almost turned, for the fallen and for those whose glory is about to fade. A single note repeated slowly in the amphitheater of the garden. Fallen, fallen, fallen. Our glory, our colors, our pride, fallen to ruin, to leaf mold, to worm food, to await another rising of transfiguration. It's a greater remembrance at the 11th hour when all the world hoped to make a lasting peace. Never again. Never again. Our children in the trenches, land and animals destroyed. Our lives lit with fear and its crooked child hatred. No more gas. No more bombs. No more guns. No more. We live for hope now. There's only one small salute to the end of the season. Fallen. Fallen. Everything passes. Nothing remains the same. Nor can, nor should. New growth springs up, falls down, pushes aside. The old crumples, shatters, slumps, composts. And this is beautiful. Always something rises good, new, beautiful. That's our hope. That's our work. Accidental or determined, sorting, sifting, aligning, arranging. A handful of purple pansies, a song line, a pebble, an ornament of voice or instrument, a colored thread, a weighted word. Five candlesticks on a linen cloth. Crystal paper. Rain in the dry land.
She thanked me, I thank her, and I thank you. I'm glad that you were here to listen to that. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I know why the patients are heavy. We're going to take a 10-minute break, or we'll right around that amount. When we come back, we have Karen Melander Magoon and Garrett Murphy, and then Alan Harris are many for the evening. So stick around, talk to your friends and neighbors, find find your cooperativeness and think about your humanity. Thank you.
I'll see you later. Okay, take care. I'll see you next week.
Bye, Owen.
Bye now. Sorry about it. Okay.
There's gonna be even less people here.
There will be nobody left. We will be.
There was a guy that's early away.
Called Otto.
Early away, yeah. The baseball player, what about it?
I don't know.
Otto.
Early.
Otto Mike.
When I was a kid, he was
How are you doing? How'd you like?
from Alabama.
It's okay, it's not silly.
Pearsall was crazy.
Thanks for having book.
Yeah, they did a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a movie. Walking Fierce Strikes Out.
Oh.
You're walking.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking in, it's going,
When I
yeah.
was a kid,
What
my
donkey is
dad-
about that?
Never
I
seen
love
a
it.
kid.
They're actually, they're now not
Going to every once in a while. So I'm just waiting a little more back to like settle down, which is most of the
I like running the
yeah, I'm getting sick of it.
My dad,
This year it's like,
he didn't, I thought he would.
9.
Sit down and work and then go.
It's
Yeah, it's kind of get like a- Yeah, that's good. Well, when he gets donations, I'll actually do what I can.
When he comes back,
Bring it in and back to the thing and I,
you know,
overreact about it.
miraculously he does. But now
I did some projects.
he doesn't have any budget.
Well, it's kind of nice to like.
But, you know, I just like my regular meetings and stuff. It doesn't happen very
They
often.
need to talk.
This is a public.
Yeah. They need to talk, they need to do this, they need to do that. One goes out, the other has to go. One goes there, the other has to go. So those things are going hand in the back.
You can only do so much.
So how many students are you guys?
Right now, I have a hard one just got moved to another class. 2 or 3 left between the beginning of the year and the first couple of weeks. And I'm thinking, I don't know if that's really what I need, but I think parents will play it very well.
Oh, maybe not.
So what do you teach? I'm teaching some things 5th grade, some things 4th grade, sometimes I'm mixing them. And it's like, I'm just.
They ask you to
I was
rewrite
confusing
the poets and try and interpret it that way.
Well,
I find it's
the parents, they wonder what's going on, and I have like giving them up.
There's 2 rules that for
Do you have
every
to,
poem here and everyone who writes poetry
fit in
follows
with
these 2 rules. That each line that is created has a meaning. It would not exist without having some sort of
I read some.
The next one is that each line refers to the last line.
Oh, the
There's some
common
sort of
core.
meaningful
I read
construction
some
of
good
it.
things, originally they were really bad.
Yeah.
Some years.
Lego poetry.
Yeah, and the thing is, they gave us this, they have to provide this with a math curriculum that's aligned with it.
Phrase by phrase.
The problem is, a number of different people put this thing together.
Yeah.
And they haven't really, and so we
You
became
read, I
and
think it's a,
find
Yeah, yeah, the last one.
it's a binder, it's like, handouts.
I'm sort of hearing one on a
I
ride.
know my.
And you know what, it's instead of making it just a binder of handouts,
No, no, I do.
page or lesson might look
You
at
just now figuring it out.
but it might not really relate to what's coming.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's right, you're a pro at it.
Within a primary school, and now she's.
I just remember an old haiku I wrote the first time.
Because she said they have changed too often.
Yeah.
What is demanded, and she's actually leads the average, I think, because her kids really well. So she
Yeah.
said, I'm tired of it.
Oh, she's a teacher, yeah.
Yeah, she's teaching our kids.
Yeah.
They're joining classes, but you work together. She's thinking of the curriculum that she doesn't want.
Oh, it's only about 3,000 dollars at a time.
It's gotten higher with answering to. I didn't insist on.
Yes, your music is
Yeah,
absolutely
and,
wonderful.
you know,
Really enhanced.
I'm just like, the amount of stuff.
They go to
Yeah.
Kids are
and
great.
just very, very, very,
Their
very,
computers.
very.
Yeah, so they
Yeah,
just.
more and more people
Yeah.
with music.
Then they, I mean, they're doing all the stuff together. It's like creating programs. They don't, you know,
Music
they
trumps
don't.
every poetry.
They
And
create
then
the
there's some
programs
really
and they
kind of
create a
interesting
different curriculum. So they really are.
But they're not
Yeah.
They don't work parallel.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I don't know.
See, there's a different
Yeah.
kind
I don't know
of
if I can-
interpretation that I can
It's
get
like-
So
to
you're
music,
really like.
right? There's just a certain part that gets
It's
the
just
words,
there's
but
so
to put
much-
them together is another
Kids have so
interpretation.
much
All
self-internalized
together.
distraction. Like, someone will say something,
Yes.
someone will call out, and someone will do
They
something.
need each other.
Then the two,
You can't just
two
have
girls
one
do
that
something, and the
one
guy
is
comes
describing
out.
something.
It's just like a
It helps.
constant, you know, there's no.
What's that?
When I'm up there reading, can I give you my phone to just point it?
We have like
Oh,
a
no,
counselor there,
How's that?
and she does her part. And, you know, I trust her.
Perfect position for
But
you.
the kids think it's, and essentially they say, oh, I gotta go see my counselor. And so it's just like, you know, and she'll talk to them and send them back, but the point is then that they're used to, like, now these three are just, you know, they come and go. And so, there's a fourth one who's now, for the first time, he walked towards the door. So it's like, you know, if he starts going up, he'll have 4 boardwalkers. And, you know, what happened today was just, it was like,
I'm like your patience.
it's like Monday was really hard, but Tuesday was actually a good day. It was like, what happened? I mean, I did, you know, talk about how you change the routines and that seemed to help. Today was not as good as yesterday, but way better than Monday.
Can you get them direct?
Yeah.
Then get them direct. I mean that, I mean, when I was in the 4th grade, I had a teacher. And
Oh, there's
she
gonna be
had
a-
us writing, word pictures. We were 4th grade.
Yeah.
So, we also did fiestas and we were in Spanish and we did murals and I thought it was wonderful. I guess some of the kids did not like it. It was too, but I loved it. And she had us writing poems actually. I mean, she would put words on the
Yeah.
board and say, make a picture.
Yeah.
You can add some.
There may be a point where I can do that again. See, the thing is like, reading and writing is never all set.
Oh, that's right. You have to follow.
It is
I have no idea how Miss managed to do this. I have no idea. That is fine.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, one of the things that was so crazy is, a couple of years ago, it's my favorite story now to tell. First, we had something, I was talking to us about what they call the instructional minutes per subject in a given day. So 20 minutes for this, 50 minutes for that, an hour for this, 20 minutes, whatever, right? Well, there's 360 minutes in the 6-hour school day. And you stop that for a second. Now,
Sorry.
It's all right, we like it. And so, you take the 360 minutes, and of course you take that 60 minutes for lunch and recess.
I'm gonna
coming
get some
in.
water. Do you need any water
if
before
you're
you
really
leave?
good,
Are you waiting
you'll
for
have
your
300
dad?
instructional minutes. If the kids are like, well, that's pretty crazy. Her list added up to 420.
Yeah, that's the story of my life. Mini. Really mini.
This came from
The
the
mini
district.
picture or
The
something
mini
else?
anything.
The mini anything?
60 minutes, 420 minutes per instruction.
Yeah, no, you have 300 minutes.
Oh, okay, got it.
So the
300,
point is,
400.
2 hours a day, that doesn't exist.
And you aren't gonna have all of the 300 minutes anyway.
Yeah, no, you won't. So,
That's Johanna, where she was in my phone. She used to
like
go
this
out.
year,
She
in
died.
the morning the kids get their, instead of going to the cafeteria to get their breakfast, the breakfast is bought
There's
in the
a good
classroom.
poet.
Save some time.
Saves
Yeah, that's a
some
long.
Pass.
But it takes time.
All poets are passed.
So they do that, and then there's,
Steve Macon, yeah.
what else is new?
Huh?
Is that,
Steve Macon, I heard about that.
Yeah, Steve Macon.
why do we do that? Is it to save time or to save,
Crazy one.
It's
save the cafeteria?
Test
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Because if they eat, then they're more attentive, then their test scores go up.
Well, the eating, I guess, is less, but
Yeah.
I mean, where they eat.
Well, the thing is, like, most of them don't eat, most of the food goes back. But then what they do is they haven't opened the package and they just use the next day until their time is up and then they get tossed, I guess.
Oh.
So, it's just, you know, I have to fill out a piece of paper for who's
Right.
there, who gets what. The kids have to get distributed, gather it up, put it in a box, and someone comes to do stuff.
Something all over?
No,
man,
we're on the break.
It's the last lap.
Oh, good.
Last lap.
I left, I can't find the poster that Rainbow made for me. Excuse me for interrupting your conversation.
Yes, dear.
All right, darling.
Thank you.
Continue.
No, it's okay.
So anyway, you know.
I'm not talking.
Yeah.
Of course, it's him. It's either him or me in this place.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what I say.
Either him or me.
So anyway, it's just that today is like,
Well, let us see that.
oh, they're starting this thing called the second step, which is a series of social, emotional,
You didn't read it.
response,
No.
awareness, developing, you know, empathy and kindness, and sharing, and problem solving, like that.
Yeah, okay, I'll see you,
And
bye-bye.
so, I don't have,
Oh, I love that, I
I
love
don't have a
that,
computer that plays CDs, and it hooks
yeah.
up in some things, makes it to a
Yeah.
projector screen.
Please come to feature.
Questions, got it done.
All right.
Good.
Plugged it up, showed me how to punch the buttons, like go to the
Come on, man,
computer,
tell her I'm good. I
or
said
go to
that.
the,
It's too late.
Oh.
She's already heard me. It's
put
okay. I'm
a
just
sheet of paper on the table.
I'm just half kidding.
So,
I left my bind.
then she got computers, and now I have to have everything
I
I
left
need
my
except for the
poster that Rainbow made
laptop
back at the
stand.
house. Up the ground.
Or charge.
I looked everywhere. If
So
somebody
it's
took it
giving
from
me
my
error
front.
messages saying,
they have to
you're on
put it
battery,
step.
you're on emergency battery,
And the other
please
one
plug in
is,
the charger. The charger's
that's my
plugged in.
cane on the 24.
Charger's plugged into the computer, the charger's plugged into the plug.
But
And
today I got
the
two more.
little
Three
yellow light
more.
is on.
And one's magic on the charger.
Something, okay.
Magic when you
And I
say
just,
it.
I kind of like lost it. But not while she was there, I was losing it while
But
she was
anyway,
there.
I haven't
Lost
lost
it
most
while she
of
was
it.
there.
Well,
Right after she left. And I was thinking, this is painful. The kids are not really, you know, they're just not treating me right.
It's not a tomato plant.
Why am I eating this?
No, but I am
What's the
gonna
story?
bring
I
it
told
in.
Wendy, I'm
Tons
thinking,
of
you know, I didn't,
And also,
I really went back and forth on whether or not I was going to do
lentils,
this year.
lentils.
Then I found that the old principal was a real piece of
So
work.
you eat those?
Left.
You eat all of that?
And then,
Well, they ate
I was gonna have a straight grade.
I
Yeah.
multiple times ready.
New principal, straight
Different
grade.
plants. They're
Then
gonna
became a
come
cover.
in. They're all different stages.
Then it became a farm, then it became a short. All of that, like,
They
David.
They gave all at once.
I said, okay, I did this,
Took the orange.
I can do this, and then it's just like the behaviors. All sketchy.
They can all be eaten, the oranges, but they don't get bigger, but they're all ready.
I gotta try this.
The only reason I mention portraits,
No,
sometimes it's something
Well, the
creative,
good
you know, like
news-
that unique teacher I was doing murals.
Yeah, I do singing, I love singing, that's a winner. And then we do what they call English language development, which is another half hour they're gonna plug in. I'll have a chance, if I have English only kids, I'll have a chance to do that kind of stuff.
You know, I did for
Do
my,
poetry in my workshop.
for my
Who's
thesis
this?
dissertation or for my master's degree.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
did
indeed.
songs for kids, real simple to their
Somebody's
words
bumping.
that
No,
talk about.
she was the harpist too.
Sometimes I cry.
man. I used to harpist.
I'll get this.
And then, so it's kind of that.
Hanging on to that for you. But it's nothing like the.
All right, we're back for the second half. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Take your seats or put them where you want them. Snuggle, get close, don't get too sweaty. Don't pet the sweaty stuff and don't sweat the petty stuff.
Nice.
Thank you.
Then you're putting your name in there.
Carolyn, Meland,
Oh.
who is coming. I should have told you you're coming up after the break. Then we have Garrett Murphy and Marek O'Harbs will be here. And if you haven't signed up, oh, then of course we have Alan Harrison at the end. You're the mini. We got you. All right. All right.
Okay, here's a question.
Oh, for me?
No, this for your, well,
Oh.
it can be for you, I don't care what it is. but
Well, I'll look,
I
I'll
need
listen
to-
to it first and then.
And see whether or not it's acceptable.
No, it's not. If I give it away, I'll never hear it.
Did you ever, did you get a poster? 100,000 Poets for Change?
Oh, yes.
September 27th, and I just happen to have flyers with me. which
It's
is
a
amazing.
Saturday.
I am never so well organized.
It's a
Never
Saturday.
so well read.
Oh, wow. So there you go.
That reminds
Thank
me.
you very much. Enjoyed it very much.
While she's passing that out, 100,000 Poets for Change, we're going to celebrate that here next Wednesday, and Marco Harps is the feature for that evening.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's the feature then, and he honored us by doing that, and then they'll also be having the 100,000 event here. So sign up, line up, and reinvest in America today.
May I add an addendum?
Yes, you may add an
And then we'll get Karen, and then we'll get started with the regularly scheduled program, which is already in progress.
I'd like to add an additional addendum to what he's already subtracted from my multiplication. United, we're never divided. No, Jack Melander is a co-feature.
Oh, sorry about that.
Thank you.
The
Hey,
Melanders
thank
and
you.
Melanders around here, how do we handle that?
Melander, yes.
I'm Melander, and he's Melander.
Melander.
There ought to be a song about that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
There is.
So
and we would
anyway,
love it.
delighted to be here. Great. You seem to have collected again, so I thought we were down to 2 people, but we've got a few more.
So you have about 6 minutes because we're stretching a little bit here.
Oh, I got 6 minutes.
Just so you know, Jay will be surprised.
Everything I wrote this afternoon. So, there you go. And I got awfully political and kind of nasty and so on. So it's all this beautiful stuff that I've been hearing all evening. Yeah. The first one will be pretty, and then the rest, I don't know.
All right.
The moon high, that's a brief one. The moon high on a fall morning looks omniscient, yet vulnerable, pale against blue, pasted to the curtain of a morning sky. That's your only light moment.
Oh, thank you.
Kidnap and murder of Palestinians. I just want to get all this stuff out, and then I'm on to hope.
Okay.
Palestinians are kidnapped each day by Zionist Israelis. 55,000 Palestinians behind Israeli bars since 1948, tortured, humiliated, abused. Shin Bet wreaks its vengeance, assuages its guilt. From massacre upon massacre, injustice upon injustice, Gaza, West Bank, occupied Lebanon, Sabra and Shatila, refugee camps of Palestinians in Lebanon, scenes of rape, murder, atrocity upon atrocity by Christians supported by Zionists, babies ripped from wombs, toddlers decapitated, scenes of horror, women left dead with legs apart, ripped skirts high and bloody. 1982, the years pass, the USA remains complicit in horror, complicit in Zionist atrocities. Israeli rape and murder of Palestinians remains unredeemed, yet glimmers like those of a glowworm in a cave of hope remain, and peace one day will light the skies of Palestine.
Yes, that's
Thank you.
Wait.
Sorry about the horror.
Yes.
Hope. Patrice Lumumba, one of many murdered by the CIA, following a long history of colonizing the world through murder. England, Portugal, France, Germany's Bismarck hands out African countries like candy in 1885 for Europeans to exploit. Belgium's King Leopold sees 10 million killed in Congo for rubber, murdered or worked to death as expendable energy. The USA, an eager student of colonialism, does not learn from freedom movements in Cuba after Batista, from Che Guevara and Castro, or Venezuela, to serve rather than subjugate, provide health, education, guarantee human rights rather than rob those rights of all, exploit all, enslave all who might be enslaved and robbed through synthetic boundaries of colonial oligarchy, while Cecil Rhodes takes over Zimbabwe, Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois follow Sylvester Williams' lead to honor Africa. Blessed Africa will be honored. Blessed Africa will find peace.
Nice.
This is because today I had some hope. Obama knows his mandate is to lead a strong but stubborn nation to follow its own soul. to find its moral compass, to end war, sometimes by knocking at the back door of peace. Almost $2 billion for soldiers and medical help to combat a modern plague, Ebola, in Western Africa. Billions to strike Islamic terror, yet holding his cards close to his chest, to shuffle them for peace. Obama knocks at the back door of peace on the continent of Africa. The Cuban Five and Justice. Rene, Gerardo, Fernando, Ramon, Antonio, you have given up your freedom to fight crime in Cuba, seated in Miami. To fight terrorist acts on your people, on your home in Cuba. They say the people of the United States will understand, will let you be free. But you have been imprisoned since September 12, 1998 for fighting crimes against your people. Crimes of bombing in Cuba, masterminded by Ruy Posada Carillas of the CIA. Should you not be anointed as heroes for helping your people? Should the CIA bomb your fellow Cubans with impunity? Rene, you are free after years of torment, unjust imprisonment. You were free to see your father's funeral. Not soon enough to see your father alive and well. Not soon enough to see your family whole, complete. And even then you had to wait another year to live in your home, Cuba. Fernando, Ramon, Antonio, you still wait for justice behind bars. Gerardo, you will wait longer because you were blamed for airplanes falling from the sky in 1996, falling from the sky in Cuba when you were in Miami trying to end that violence against Cubans. You were given 2 lifetime sentences when will injustice cease? A new trial may happen and another new trial. Heroes fight for their people, fight for justice, fight to end violence. But violence becomes its own excuse for injustice, the violence of injustice. I will offer Nancy Carrillo, who was here. Nancy, who has fought for the Cuban Five for some time, and she was just here recently, last week.
Wow.
And so I voted for her.
Thank you so much. Karen Melander, we're going to give her a round of applause. Thank you. All right. Garrett, then Mark, then Patch. And then Al.
Woohoo!
And Martin Mead. Donna Reed. Playing the 2-tone tubas.
James being
Three-part harmony.
looking kind of lean.
Here we go.
The secret prerequisite for passing the Law Enforcement Academy. Congratulations to all you recruits. With the passage of our secret requirement, you have officially fulfilled all the tests for being able to call yourselves officers of the law. Let the outside world believe that what we mean by the special elite, that we mean toughening one's mind and body via basic training, or being proficient in hand-to-hand combat, or being the crackest shot imaginable. It is really none of those things. Nor is it familiarity with police jargon or military jargon, or how well you can handle our numerous types of armament, or even knowing your badge or serial number. The most uncanny and savvy among you manage to figure it out. It happens to be how well you can tell a tall tale, one that moves our allies in court and politics to believe you when you can tell how the target reached for your gun, or tried to assault you, or tried to threaten you and others, and you can now tell a most compelling story using a specially bred imagination. That, rookies, is what really makes a good law enforcer. You have passed with flying colors, and I am pretty proud of all of you, but just keep this in mind, officers. Real colors do not fly as gloriously as the ones you have just passed with. In prison outside a cell. Let's talk about a special kind of prison, one that's so insidious most inmates don't know that they're in it, or know that they are their own correction officers. One's eyes and ears are more oblivious of their sins than they would be to their own surroundings. The local color of the inmates and the language is as right as one might expect from a more obvious can. This is a jail that will never be on lockup, nor will it ever confuse orange with black. It is tighter than the most maximum securities, and yet can be broken free from with the mildest of ease. So come on, all you inmates, ease your way back to the outside world and get off that there cell phone. One-way streets lead from oneself, you think. People complain about the warm and the fuzzy without a word about the cold and the hard. Politicals whine about how we're too lax, yet never comes a point where we are too tough. All they want to share with the others is the misery of their own existence. See, they just can't stand to see the others, the kids, the women, the colors, the trees, the animals, the subordinates, themselves, too happy, overfilled. Why, that would prove all the wasted time they've used up. Check, please don't. Okay, your state ID, check. Your driver's license, check. Photo ID, check. Vehicle registration, check. Birth certificate, check. Passport, check. Marriage certificate, check. Doctor's verification, check. Power of attorney, check. High school diploma, check. Middle school diploma, check. Elementary school diploma, check. Proof of residential living for the last 20 years, check. Military honorable discharge, check. Proof of mental competency, check. All this stuff just to obtain a gun? Gun? What gun? This is a voter registration line. The gun whose registration is the fast express lane. The one with fast tracking processing. No waiting there. Not ever. Close with this piece. Milk toast and sharks. Election day was coming around. There were two candidates for head office, a milk toast and a shark. The shark approaches you and says, would you not rather vote for me? You know I'm a shark, but you know not what the milk toast is, do you? You admit that much is true, that it is. The shark would never pretend that he is your friend. He'll just rush you and attack and you're through. Now the milk toast, on the other hand, will hem and will haul with a smile on his face and his hand on your fold. With me, you always know where you stand, says that shark. No frills, no facade, but just sheer to plain talk. Very well, you admit you are right, Mr. Shark. I do know well now who to go for. So on to election day, the votes are come in and the votes are counted up. The shark's grin is wide while the milk toast is doubtful. At last, the count is in and an announcement is made. The winner is the milk toast. What? Roars the shark. I told you the truth. You knew I was right, and you still voted for him over me. All too true, you admit. I knew where I'd stand with you, and that's exactly why I voted as I did. I know that the milk toast will hem and will haul, but I know he won't eat me lickety split, and he's so clumsy that we try to nip it and still likely get something out of him anyway. You and I'm not all sure I could talk you in time, and besides, I'd rather not have any casualties meantime. So the moral of the story is this: it's important to learn that one wants to harm you, but a different thing it is to then give him the means.
That's right.
Mark, Nash, and Al.
Music stands.
Come on up, Mark.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna come up, Mr. Nash is gonna give me a music stand, I'm gonna go help him get it.
Oh, all right.
Hand it to me.
I'll get it.
Thank you so much. Oh,
No problem.
you gonna set it up here?
Yeah, sure.
Wow, look at that. Thanks.
This is cooperation at
Two
its
whole
finest.
sets.
We're at the house tech crew, you know.
Yeah, we know
Thanks
that.
very much.
Don't do this at home.
Don't let the union bosses know that we're a cooperative client.
Oh, yeah, don't let the union know.
Collaboration, that's what I call it.
I'm pro-union, but I'm not
Tell
pro-corporate.
my union.
Corporate unions are worse than, what?
If you tell my union, I'll have to kill you.
It's gotten to that.
Now that I have this up here, now I better use it, do something good here. This is about a town near where I grew up. And a couple of days ago, I was up in the Hague, and I'm trying to look for love, okay? And a guy had a shirt on there called, which just said Hoboken, so I gave him a couple lines of this.
Oh, wow.
I said, the legend of a hobo called Ken kind of goes like this. Some say he started his day with cheap vino, then hopped the nearest freight train to the nearest casino, blowing all his bucks at traps or Keno. Some say he drove El Camino into the fountain at Caesar's Palace. Well, I'm here to raise the chalice to Hobo Ken, Hobo Ken. If he was such a bum to some, How come they named the New Jersey town after him? Some say he spent some hard time in the pen. Some say he spent most of his time in Zen. Hoboken, Hoboken. If he was such a bum to some, how come? Etc. They named the New Jersey town after him. Some say that he was just too good. Some say his best friend was a hood. Some say he died finally as a hero. Some say he died just as he lived, a zero. Hoboken, Hoboken. If he was such a bum to some, how come they named the New Jersey town after him? This is the town I was born there. I was born in New Jersey, so you know I can take a joke. I grew up drinking poison, yes, and breathing smoke. I was born in New Jersey, so you know I can take a joke. So I was born in New Jersey, so won't you please have mercy on me? Now I spend most of my time walking this thin line called sanity. I was born in New Jersey, so you know I can take a joke. I grew up drinking poison, yes, and breathing smoke, with such a sour chemical stew that just to make you too blue. Big pharmaceuticals to melt your cuticles, with corrupt corporate politicians who bribe their worst physicians. I grew up where it snows, wet and cold in the winter, with summers so hot, strong folks just splinter. Yeah, I was born in New Jersey, so you know I can take a joke. So now I gotta be aloof, as aloof a sponge, poised to rub away my grunge. Sitting on a shelf, I'm eating super sponge. I make my lunch for the soul in the hope of expunging of my punishment. In the hope of expungement of my punishment. I can't even sing my own poems right. Look out! I asked her if I could prune a petunia, and she knocked me clean over this petunia. Alive with the drive to survive and thrive, I was born in New Jersey, so you know I can take a joke. Times are tough. Enough! Have no doubt, the holdout and the sold out went to the wide, wild window for the fold down. Who needs money in a crazy free country? Me and my landlady, Mr. Nashville. Red and white, blue suede shoes, you can call my mess some same old New Year U.S. blues. I am Uncle Scam, that's who the hell I am, and I've been hiding out in the swamps of Vietnam and in the sandwich of Dam. I will blind your mind, you will believe I am kind. I will poison all your waters and your unborn sons and daughters. Steal your women's voices, rob all of your choices. Then I'll take your taxes. That's exactly what the facts is. I am Uncle Scam. That's who the hell I am. And I just don't seem to give a good goddamn. That's right. Genocide or just suicide, Uncle Scam can't hide for too long. Our eyes are open way too wide, yes, and our love is much too strong. So what's it gonna be between this wild world and me? Hate or harmony, peace or insanity? I am Uncle Scam, that's who the hell I am, and I've been hiding out in your rock and soul band. There goes, hang on.
Yeah.
because he is U.S. and we is us, which is the U.S. So it's kind of our fault.
Thank you. Natch is next, Natch. And then we got Al, the closer, knocking us in for next week, which I'll talk about in due course. Give a round for this guy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey. So these first 5 poems are called Inigo, and they're basically, there's one for each of our senses. The first 3, I'll give you the name after I say it, and give you a chance to guess what it is. Biting a yellow fruit I find about, with a twisted face, I spit it out. Lemon.
Yeah.
A blood-stained finger, vision moves from light to dark. The hum grows louder, louder, and louder. Then there is silence, and I can't even hear myself. Faint heart. Pale red cotton held aloft by the breath of Atlas, looking like a winged hawk descending from Valhalla. A cloud. Lying still in my bed at night, my heart taps rhythms behind my ear. Sound. This one is touch. His eye so soft, my hand so hard, moonbeams dancing on a thigh, my hand touched his eye.
Potato.
It's gay. You can change it to her.
I thought you were saying still fruits. Pardon me for interrupting.
This one is called Troubadour. We do this every Thursday night. Actually, we had a fellow who used to host the Thursday night, Todd Tolkey. And one night he got up and sang something that knocked my socks out, and I wrote this in like 15 seconds. I stood up there, and it took me almost a year to remember it. You know how that is. A troubadour sings sweet melodies of love, sewing as a needle and thread all the souls that hear his silvery tones. Joining the head to the heart through the tongue and ear shows what fine hand this craftsman owns. Well spun, my friend, well done. And this one's about nothing. It's called Existential. Gold fires exploding in my head, lighting the dark labyrinths of my mind. Light cycles moving through the shadowed pages of our two-dimensional consciousness. And then Buddha smiles, and a cosmic child kicks the walls of an infinite universe, and in silence man whispers into the darkness, I am. And so God then closes his eyes to sleep, perhaps to dream of me.
Wow.
Don't do shit.
You said I was going to say anchovies. All right.
That was great.
That's right.
We have a great mini feature for you this evening. Alan Harris has done such marvelous work that you will be marveled by his marvelousness. And he will marvel, and we will marvel. Come on up, Alan.
Yeah.
Knock us the heck out of here. Come on.
Energy's flowing.
I'm so vain.
What a name for a song.
Yeah, I think a car can
Videotape it and sit in my little room and watch it over and over. Relive this.
Not recording, he says.
It's not recording?
Now you got numbers?
Yeah, 120. Yeah. Yeah. Second.
You know,
Alan
Ken,
Harris. Got it.
Okay. Legal disclaimer. Use of this product may cause death or death-like symptoms. This product contains chemicals which are known to cause death or death-like symptoms in laboratory animals. Discontinue use of this product if death or death-like symptoms occur. Consult a physician if death or death-like symptoms continue for more than 2 weeks after discontinuing use of this product. The manufacturers of this product cannot be held responsible for any death or death-like symptoms that may result from the use of this product because congressional Republicans, through legislation, have been chipping away at our legal system's ability to seek redress for individuals who have been harmed by products manufactured by or practices practiced by huge corporations, because Republicans are more concerned with the profitability of huge corporations than they are with the health and safety of you and me. Legal disclaimer, voting for Republicans may cause death or death-like symptoms. I'm afraid that you're going to discover that I've never eaten a salad, and that I never filed a tax return, and that I once owned a Dan Fogelberg album, and that it took me 25 years to read Atlas Shrugged, and that I went to my senior prom with a hooker who charged me double, and that my ass was once kicked by an Olsen twin, although I'm not sure which one. I think it might have been Ashley, and that I once tried to mass produce a bumper sticker that said, "Suck my Cheney," and that when I do a juice fast, I count pizza as juice, and that since my apartment is smaller than the trunk of my car, I sometimes sleep in the trunk of my car, and that my penis is so small, it's an innie, and that all white people look alike to me, and that my favorite Marx brother was Margaret Dumont, and that Christopher Marlowe wrote all of my plays, and that in a real-life Lord of the Flies situation, I would have been Piggy! But mostly I'm afraid that you're going to discover that I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you. You okay, Buford?
Yeah,
Your arms are tired?
I think so.
Okay.
It looks good.
Thank you. So mean. Take the iPod out of your ears. Flush the Valium down the toilet. Quit reading the Bible on the BART. Don't use religion as a form of methadone. Tear down that shrine to the Beatles. Remind yourself daily that football is evil. Give the money that you were going to spend on lottery tickets to Ralph Nader. Don't laugh at Greenpeace. Look up the word terrorist in a dictionary before you use it again. Think for yourself and at least one other person. Stop pretending that you don't watch TV. When you see a celebrity, instead of an autograph, ask for money. Only rob young, healthy people. Treat the people who go to tanning salons like the vain, superficial, skin cancer-ridden freaks that they are. Don't feed LSD to puppies. Remind yourself daily that caffeine is evil. Avoid asking stupid questions like, why don't alcoholics just stop drinking? Rock out constantly, but don't talk about it. Look up the word progressive in a dictionary before you use it again. Be nice to cops until you can get close enough to one of their guns. After masturbating, be sure to call yourself the next day. If you get the chance, spit on Rupert Murdoch. Give it up for teachers. Be nice to cab drivers. Tip your waitress. Turn the lights out when you leave. And most important of all, never, ever touch me. Oh my God.
Yeah, come on, baby.
I'm all hopped up on indecision, looking at the world from the vantage point of a permanent fetal position, through the haze of an ongoing existential tantrum, catching glimpses of a worshiper of glib deities, an impersonator of inanimate objects, a cutter with a dull blade, the lethargic dignity of an arrogant snowflake, the telegenic outrage of a waiter who has switched jobs with a gynecologist, the accidental passion of a belching, swollen poet bouncing off the walls of a book-lined asylum, and the panic attacks of a slacker wannabe whose fantasy mirror reflects laid-back nihilism and a reflexive suspicion of anyone sending out their thoughts and prayers amidst gratuitous displays of superficial depth and repeated suggestions to man up, while the ongoing battle rages between the sonic opiate and the concise chaos of the moment, and my therapist informs me that insane is the new sane as he combs his hair with a laser and sends me home for another round of cryptic small talk with a perpetual puppy, a meal of grass-fed ambiguity, and the endless recharging of devices. Night falls, books cry, unions die of loneliness. And I think again about buying that drone that I saw on Amazon for those days when you just want to urinate on a rainbow. Thank you. Recently, I was forced to give up smoking at gunpoint, which is a real shame because I really liked smoking at gunpoint. Recently, I decided to become a vegetarian because of this one time recently when I was eating a burger and I bit into a hoof. And this other time recently when I was eating a hot dog and I bit into a phone book. Recently, it occurred to me that if 40 is the new 30, then 10 must be the new birth. And isn't labor painful enough already? Recently, I learned that 70% of the human body is composed of water, and I began wondering why we don't slosh more when we walk around. Since with all of that water inside of us, you'd think that we'd be splashing and spilling and leaving little trails everywhere we walk, and forming puddles every time we sit down, and getting a shock when we touch something electrical. And I can't understand why there aren't more hairdryer-related deaths. Recently, I came to the conclusion that most people who claim to be Christian wouldn't know Jesus Christ if Jesus Christ bit them on the ass. And recently, also, while rereading the Bible, I discovered that Jesus was a biter. But then, recently, I ran into God in a cockfight. And he told me that the Old Testament is utter bullshit, and that he didn't say or do any of the things in it that are attributed to him, and that his lawyers are preparing a massive lawsuit, and that it sucks to be God anyway, because he can't ever win an argument, not even with his own wife, like when she asks him to take out the trash, and he tells her that he can't because he's busy answering prayers, and she tells him that she prayed that he would take out the trash. So recently I learned that it even sucks to be God, so I feel better. Thank you.
That's how you do it anyway. All right.
I feel like I've been dancing with Sonny Liston.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. We are now at that part of the evening where the prizes are distributed to those people whose minds were designed with their minds in mind.
So remember for yourself, for your sanity, the Essential Oxford Dictionary, Broadway musicals, in case you're interested, they're all here.
Really?
Well,
What's the Broadway musicals one?
and this is Poet Talk with Stephen Coppell in it, Poetry Magazine for 2002, Robert Frost Poems, New Yorker, and of course, if you wanted to have the keynote, I mean the mini feature, Alan just did, that's how you get that, and the keynote, which is you read first a poem by someone else to start the meeting on. And I've been shuffling these cards, and so if you've signed in, your name is next to a number and vice versa. A drum roll, please. You've heard.
Well, I want the mini feature.
I think it's the mini. Where'd my pen go? I found it.
You forgot it?
Excellent.
Yes.
It's a great game, huh? This is a great game.
Oh no, I always shuffle these things.
No, it's a good name, man. It's my name.
I love your name.
Thank you.
All right. Next,
Great name.
drum roll. Oh. The feature of the evening has one of these fine prizes to choose from. The feature doesn't have a number next to the name, so I had to make a special card.
Deborah, that's because you're special.
A dictionary.
I was wondering what you would take. I try to predict
wish I
what
was
people would take,
special.
and I'm always usually wrong. Always usually. Notice that? Always usually. And Karen Melander. Karen Melander.
She's here in person, I think.
Yeah, you got it.
Pardon me.
You got it. Okay, I guess Broadway musicals.
Broadway musicals? I didn't know you were interested in Broadway.
I have.
Sorry.
Oh, really?
I didn't.
Dan,
I
Terry,
did.
what is that, bio on
I used
bio?
to, well, anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I was a star in
Natch?
Vienna.
Is Nash still here?
Natchez?
You are a prize winner. Please come up and take one of these fine prizes which just later designed with your mind in mind. Okay, Robert Frost.
No,
And Dylan.
Good choice.
Come on up. You can Keynote Poetry, New Yorker.
I see that.
Chicago.
I would have brought some like that stuff. What happened to the book that I gave you from last week?
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, you like that, eh?
I did very
I've seen it before I give them away.
I